over to the store. They're ready for war.
Small soldiers, big battles!
Commando, report! Prep bazooka, ready to annihilate Gorgonite Sar! Send in the major artillery, the Buzzsaw tank! Special delivery from Slam Fist! Commandos always win! I see it differently.
Small soldiers, big battles!
You can get a hold of a small soldier. Figures and vehicles sold separately.
What's up, you guys? Friendly Neighborhood Geek here, doing another toy review, vintage toy review. If you see the title or thumbnail of the video, I'm gonna see if I could play like a little toy commercial before the video starts, whatever. Then you know who we're talking about. My last toy review, I believe, was on a character from this property. So I've been hunting for this character for a hot minute, found them for a good deal, not as good as the deal I was given a couple months ago, but hey, I didn't have to pay an arm and a leg for it. So yeah, I'm excited. Always excited to talk about a new figure, especially a character from this particular property that I've become pretty much a diehard fan of at this point. But yeah, also might give a little life update. Here's the box. This came from Texas. Arrived, so it was supposed to arrive Saturday. As of this recording, it's Friday. So it worked out pretty well. Yeah, so life update. Last video was a story time / update. I talked about an interaction I had with a girl, which was interesting to say the least. And I talked about my current military plans. Well, good news and bad news. Good news, I scored 24 on the military exam. So I am eligible to enlist, which is great. All my hard work has paid off. So I'm very happy about that. Just kind of, letting everything, settle, I guess, like the realization. Oh man, I'm having a hard time. Yeah, the realization that I can now be in the Army. But the downside is you need a 31 to qualify for a military job. Yeah, so I will be going into a program that is made for people to help them make higher scores. Pretty much the entirety of the program, you are studying the material that's going to be on the test, and you're also going to be doing, some physical fitness stuff as well. And then you retake the test. So I had to retake the test a 5th time. Hooray! You retake it again, in the program, get a higher score, then pick your job. And then you go off to basic training. So it's like an extended version of training. Nothing comes easy. Life is a journey, hard work, all that stuff. I'm a strong believer in those things. So, I'm like, okay, but I do get paid. I do get paid while I'm in the program. So that's something to be happy about, money. But yeah, so I might do a second video going back over what I just said and then giving a little bit more information, because next week I have to do a physical exam, and then from there, if everything goes as it should, then I can enlist, all that stuff, and I won't leave until February, which is kind of right. Well, time might go by fast, but we'll see how things. Hopefully, everything works out well. So I'll give an update. Something changes or whatever. But yeah, so box is open. I always like to do these unboxings on video. See my reaction for the first time. Okay, nicely wrapped. All right, let's see what we're working with. I'll probably recycle this bubble wrap when I ship something. Oh, okay. Yeah, someone's in need of a bath. We are looking at Small Soldiers from 1998. Scratch It, who is like a little mini, like a minifigure character who was in the movie. She was in the movie, but she didn't have any, like, she made little funny noises. She didn't have any speaking lines. She was Punch It, for those who've seen the Small Soldiers film. She was Punch's little partner, little buddy, sibling, whatever. She would always rest on his back, use his horns as like a slingshot. She was very agile, but if you rewatch the movie, you'll definitely see her. Um, so she was in it was a character pack. Not a character pack. It was like a vehicle play set type of thing, and she came with it, which was really cool. So all the Gorgonites got toys. I think I mentioned that in my last video. They all got figures. Of course, my other one being Ocula from the Burger King line, which sadly, Ocula is not in scale with the mainline Kenner Hasbro figures. But hey, Ocula got a toy thanks to the Burger King toy line. A nice little solid representation of the character. So we do have that. And I wanted to get them together. I might take them with me when I leave, maybe, see how that plays out. But I wanted to get the two, because Scratch is kind of expensive, but I want to get the two smaller Gorgonites first, and then later on focus on getting, the more traditional action figures, Punch It, Slam Fist, Archer, Insaniac, Troclocon, and then of course, or Freakenstein, that's his other name. And then of course get the bad guys, the Commandos. I'd love to get all the figures. But I wanted to get these two first because, like I said, they're smaller, kind of easier to get a hold of. I think I paid like $5, $7 for Ocula. Really good deal on eBay. I paid under 30 for Scratch It. I paid like 26, which, we'll like to pay a little bit less, but it was under 30. So I went ahead, got splurged and got it for me. There were listings for like 40, 50, 60. Like I said, one person offered it to me for $7, but another person bought it before I could. So, like I always say, we'll come back to Ocula, pull Ocula put Ocula to the side. Like I always say, if you really want something and you have the money to get it and you see it for a good deal, jump on it. Just go ahead, hop on it. You can make that money back. Like I said, if you have the means to get it. If you don't have the means to get it, then, do like me, play the waiting game, continue to wait for someone to list the figure or the item for a cheaper price. But yeah, that was another downside. She's very kind of dusty, dirty looking. That was another bummer. So yeah, I'll have to wash her, which I've done with some figures. I'll have to wash her. She has a scratch on her eye, which you probably can't see that well. Yeah, scratch on her eye, which is unfortunate. But again, I have paint. I have black paint, acrylic paint that I use for situations like this. So, I don't mind a little DIY, a little customization for this old figure. And that was another thing, like trying to find this figure in good condition, clean, like it just came out of the box type of thing. You can see her better. One that was really good condition, but it was like $30, $40. And again, I know these figures are rare and, vintage and stuff. But I'm like this little small little figure. Like, I'm not paying that much. Like, if I was getting 3 or 4 of them for that much, okay. But just for one, and it's a minifigure? No, it's way too much. Like I said, minus the dirtiness. You see the underneath her. This piece is removable. Yeah, it is removable. So, yeah, stick it back in there. There we go. But it stays in there securely. And she can stand. Yeah. She can stand. Yeah, a little dirty, unfortunately. But so that's good. Like I said, she can stand, and she's designed to sit in a seat, like a little sidecar, little side seat on the vehicle playset that she came with. So, and I've seen people, like I said in the movie, she would sit on top of Punch's back. And you can replicate that with this figure and Punch's figure. You can sit her on top of his back, which is really cool. I love that you could do that. Um, like I said, detail on her face is solid. I mean, it looks just like the character. She has eyelashes, which I really like. A little spot on her back is supposed to kind of molded and shaped to look like her Gorgonite emblem in the movie. They all had like these little buttons, green buttons around their body, and the style it was designed to look like their emblem, their symbol, Gorgonite symbol, whatever. I love the teeth, and you can see her gums, really cool. She has 3 toes. I don't look like she has any like writing or anything on her body. Yeah, so like I said, I'll do some customization, cleaner, all that stuff. I'll probably I'll take a little drop of paint, put it on her eye. I would sit her on Ocula, but since she's dirty, don't really want to do that, but okay. So yeah, she can sit on top of Ocula, which is cute, which is funny because they are Gorgonites, so they do go together. Um, but they look good together. Her and Ocula look good together. Um, I'm trying to think. There she goes. She has this little peg under there, so I'm not sure if that was like so she could sit like a little peg. You sit when you sit her on the thing on the little seat. Um, but like I said, for what she is, she's solid. You know, I really dig her. Um, she just needs to be cleaned, but yeah, she's solid. She's solid. I really like her. Oh, um, so like I said, the 2 smallest Gorgonites I got. I got. So now I can focus on the other characters. So yeah, happy about that. But she was worth it. She was, like I said, I was looking. I really, like I said, I love all of them, all the small soldier characters. So I was looking forward to getting her. And like I said, the fact that her and Ocula both got figures is a big deal since they're more like. I mean, like I said, they look like funny, like these funny non-humanoid creatures, and the other characters are more traditional action figure, monster action figure type characters. Um, so yeah, really cool. Because like I said, Ocula was an accessory in another big not place set, big vehicle toy, where you press a button and his upper half, this part pops out, but it wasn't the full body. It was just that little piece that just pops out. So, in some versions of the story, I think Ocula was supposed to be females. I'm not sure. I think in the movie Ocula was a boy, so it's not. I don't know if that's how accurate that is. But some versions say Ocula is a boy, or some versions say he's a girl, she's a girl. I like both, but for my interpretation, I might make Ocula a girl because Scratch is a girl. So I like that these 2 characters are females, and we have 2 female Gorgonites. Kind of gives it a little bit of, diversity instead of having all the characters be male. Like in one of the computer games, Squad Commander, there was a secret character that you could unlock who was a female commando. I forgot her name. And she had a really cool design. And I was like, oh man, it would have been cool if she got a toy. That would have been really, really nice, really dope. She kind of looked like the Vasquez character from Alien. For anyone who's seen Aliens, that's what the character in the game was kind of based off of. So like I said, to get 2 female Gorgonites is really cool. I like that, so. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of it, honestly. Like I said, it's this little unboxing. When I do my update video, I might show her again, all cleaned up and stuff. Oh, but yeah, she's cool. Like I said, I dig her. She's a cool little minifig that have a small soldier collection. She would go perfectly with. So hopefully I can clean her up nicely and make her look, presentable and stuff. Um, but yeah, that's it. Like I said, when I finish the next half of my military process, I'll probably, do a update video talking about that. So, stay tuned for that. As always, like, comment, share. Like I said, not sure what the next video is. If, like I said, I get some, my business. So business has been really slow, unfortunately. I'll might buy some more small soldier characters. If I, like I said, if I start working while I'm waiting to leave, to be shipped out with the army, then, of course I'll take some of that money and, maybe buy a few collectibles. Like I said, buy some more small soldier figures. There was a small soldiers board game that I honestly would love to get. I would love to have that and experience that. I don't know if I'll be getting that anytime soon, but that might be a future video showing off the board game. So, like I said, I'm just invested in this franchise, these characters. I love them. And another awesome thing, it's a toy line that already existed. It's no longer being continued. So I know there's only a handful of toys that I need to get in order to, collect all the figures. So, but yeah, like I said, like, comment, share, and stay tuned for more. Peace, you guys.